So, question for you. What's the point of you? Who are you actually? And what's the point of you even being here? Move! Alright, relax now, bro. If you're a young adult, teen, or maybe parents of these people, then this video is for you. Watch to the end so we can figure out why you're here and how we can make the most of this life experience. Because believe it or not, there's a point to everyone's existence. So if you're beginning to think that you're pointless, I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely not. Think of the universe as a colorful orchard, and the earth as a big trunky tree growing in the most fertile, mulchy soil, and human beings as fruit sprung from that tree, with seeds to spread and grow more trees. Now, your purpose may not necessarily be to come and spread seeds to grow more trees, but the point is, nature doesn't create anything that's useless. We are equally made, non-biased products of existence. The universe has a role for you to play, and you'll quite enjoy it once you learn what it is and fully lean into it, because it's made for you and only you can execute it to its fullest. We happened as a result of the environment on Earth, a beautifully crafted planet with gentle breezes, forests, and air that literally keeps us alive. We were engineered to survive here. The Earth made us. We're simple products of nature born to serve the environment. Just like how bees are there to pollinate flowers, predators are there to prevent overpopulation in the wild, and then humans are here for sustainable development, to accelerate the development of nature in a way that coexists with the universe. That's our general purpose if you want to think about it like that. And here's the next truth. Sustainable development really and truly is the only way. Anything outside of this really will just cause us to collapse from the inside and force us to reset and proceed with new knowledge. Empires rise and fall all the time. This story is no different. It really and truly isn't. So we have to find a way to align ourselves in the direction that nature wants us to grow, and it will allow us to do so freely. So as long as we don't harm the environment that put us here, we can do anything we want. But we can theorize what the end game of all of this will look like another time. We'll put that in the next video. So now that we've established that you're a product of nature, we can appreciate that you're a micro representation of the universe equipped with powers unique to you. But these powers can only be accessed once you've become self-actualized. That's just a fancy way of saying you become the best version of yourself. But not in a cringy metaphoric way, but actually more of like a ethereal, very real quantum physics way. Once achieved, it would feel like extreme obsession with a topic or a cause that brings you great joy and fulfillment and that you can get infinitely good at. I'm not quite there yet, I'm working on it myself, but I was thinking I'd bring along as many people as I could on the journey. So how do you figure out what you're here for then? How do you figure out obsession? Well, there's a couple of things, and we're going to walk through them in this video that you have to get out of the way first before we can actually get to that point. So let's discuss Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is basically a pyramid where once you satisfy each level, you graduate to the next level of existence until you get to the final boss of self-actualization, which is where we want to take you.
Come with me if you want to.
So what are the levels? So you have the physiological needs. This is like food, water, breathing. You know, if you're starving, you can't do anything else. So we got to get you fed. That's number one. Two, we talk about security. Now, this is where you have property. This is where you have family, and you're getting a little bit more secure, right? Then third, we have love and belonging and friendship and intimacy. This is where you need a partner or a sense of connection. And then the next one is self-esteem, confidence. You're winning awards, you're achieving things in life, but you're not quite happy yet. But why is that? And then you realize that you have all this freedom and you want to take things to the next level. So you become self-actualized. This is when you become spontaneous. This is when you become creative. You're so full of purpose. You want to give back. You think bigger than yourself. All of a sudden you want to cure world hunger. Maybe there was something you're really passionate about. Maybe you liked art. So you become fully immersed in the arts, right? No, you're trying to study Da Vinci, you're trying to become the next Da Vinci, and you have all this energy and you feel so locked in, so obsessed with this purpose, this newfound purpose of yours. And that is where we want to get you. That is where true fulfillment is found. That is where your superpower lies. Also, it got really cold, so I had to adjust my attire as needed, right? So we can actually compare Maslow's pyramid to the chakra centers in Hindu and Buddhist traditions, right? Now, these, for those of you who aren't familiar with this kind of thing, it's basically these energy centers in your body that when you activate them, it brings you enlightenment and happiness and all these wonderful things, right? Now, the first one is the root chakra that has to do with survival and trust. And then the next one is the sacral chakra, which is where your creativity and all your sexual energy is. And then up from that, we have the solar plexus chakra. That's my favorite one, that has to do with vitality and willpower. Then above that, we have the heart chakra for acceptance and love and all these wonderful things. Communication is in the throat. And then the third eye, you probably heard about that one, is just awareness and intuition. And then the crown chakra at the top is like when you activate all of them and they're all spinning and going amazingly fast, and you just have this explosion out of your brain that's, oh my God, life is amazing and I'm one with the universe, and all these wonderful realizations start pouring in. So the only ones not really covered by Maslow's pyramid are communication chakra and the third eye, the intuition awareness chakra. But those are really gaps, I feel like, that every human being has to master to really be able to communicate with people, to be able to understand them, to be able to relate to everybody else. But outside of those two, if you can really get yourself in a secure position, get yourself fed, get yourself, feeling loving, get yourself around people who care about you, then it really solves a lot of your problems and opens up your mind for free thinking and self-exploration. Now, self-actualization can actually be achieved immediately, like right now, if you wanted to do it. The only person stopping you from doing that is you. When it comes to who we are omnipotent. We have full control over ourselves. We have the ability to think ourselves into being. We have God-like power over our inner existence. And that's crazy to me. It's definitely something that we take for granted, and it's a power that should be exercised more. Think of Maslow's pyramid as an external reflection of your internal state. Now, you can start to get to self-actualization by checking off those boxes one by one. For example, say we're taking care of that first rung, the physiological needs. We're focusing on health. We want to get in shape, right? So we go to the gym, we get the gym membership, and we tell ourselves that we're healthy. Every single day, we just breathe in air and we just feel like we are one with nature. You want to tell yourself that. And while you're telling yourself that, you want to be doing the things that reflect these thoughts. And that is how we do that. So that's for the first love. And you keep doing the same thing as you make your way to the top. Now let's look at some people who are actually self-actualized and see if there are any lessons we can take away from them. One of the people on this list is Bob Marley. Now, he said, man is a universe within himself. And this is very similar to what we were discussing earlier about you just being a micro representation of the entire universe. You having all the powers, except it's on a smaller scale. Yes, because you are insignificant compared to the existence of everything, but you still have all those powers at your disposal. So think of us as beings who were created to give the universe a chance to exist physically. So you watching this right now are actually a window through which existence, God, call it what you want, can exist and be a part of this physical plane.
My richness is life forever.
And then there's Jesus. And I bet he was cool as fuck, but like these religious extremists just made it fucking weird.
You start disputing my God and you got a problem.
And it's something else now, but this is not a Jesus video, by the way, just to clarify. But he was an actual historical figure and he was cool. He was virtuous.
You Pharisees.
I would love to meet Jesus. And I know many people can say the same. And then there's Leonardo da Vinci. He painted the Vitruvian Man. And if you didn't know this, he was famous for leaving little clues in his paintings for people to agonize over. And upon decoding the Vitruvian Man, scientists and historians alike think that da Vinci was trying to hint at a similar concept where human beings are kind of just mini versions of the universe. And we all have the same powers that it has, except we're just physical. I think that's cool. And then there's Nikola Tesla. He said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I love this one personally because it's kind of what led me down this road in the first place to begin with, a fascination with quantum physics. Now, people use the word spirituality all the time, but it's really just energy. There's high frequency energy and low frequency. High frequency being happiness, love, self-actualization, which is actually a frequency higher than love, which kind of hints at what our actual purpose is. And then there is low frequency vibrations when we talk about anger and sadness. You know, that feeling, that heavy feeling that you feel in your chest, it's actually energy. Every single thing in existence is energy. And the beautiful thing is we have all the tools to understand it. And when you start to look at things like meditation and the law of attraction through a quantum physics lens, it clicks. And it makes perfect sense. It works. And then there's some other folks, Mahatma Gandhi, monk type guy who achieved inner peace and sought to share it. Then there's Abraham Lincoln, fueled by purpose and would have died for his cause. Nelson Mandela, locked away in prison for a cause he believed in. And then there's my personal favorite, Marcus Aurelius. He was the greatest Roman emperor of all time. And I read his book, Meditations, and it seemed to me like if he wasn't there, he was pretty damn close. He believed that living virtuous was the only true form of liberation. And it makes perfect sense. If you don't cheat anybody out of anything, or if you don't lie, you don't steal, then you kind of have nothing to worry about. You don't walk around with any heaviness on the inside. Makes sense. You can just die in peace. So what does somebody who is self-actualized look like, having looked at all these things, the pyramids, the chakra centers, and all these people? Well, they're comfortable with solitude. They're spontaneous. They are obsessed with a cause. they're probably called crazy sometimes because they're detached from societal norms, because all they care about is their purpose, and they have smaller circle, really deep relationships, extremely philosophical, and they always look higher. You know, they're not focused on low level things. They avoid low frequency vibrations. They only want high frequency to elevate themselves and just become the best version of themselves, which each and every one of us, you have infinite potential, which can be explored. If this didn't sound like you, then you're not on the path to self-actualization. But that can be changed right now. This is literally happiness and fulfillment guaranteed waiting on you. But usually it requires killing your old self to access this new self. You know, I'm just an hallucination. No, I'm not even real. I'm just a manifestation of all of your deepest, darkest, unfaced fears. When are you going to confront me? That's the thing. This current you cannot have that because it's not for you. You have a bunch of masks on right now that you're not aware of, and a bunch of learned things from society that is blocking you from accessing who you truly are. You can't have your powers if you continue to be the same person. That sucks, I know. You lose friends, you might lose family, and people might cut you off, but that's what's required. You'll have to completely let go of preconceived notions, indoctrinations, and just fear. Just be baldy as fuck. So there really is no true shortcut to this, but there is something that I'm practicing that I think has been working for me that I can share. So the law of manifestation sounds kind of hippie-esque, and astrology girl cry herself to sleep and listen to Adele while she does it. But I set fire to the rain, watched it pour. But that's not where I'm going with this. So think of it more through a physics perspective. When you change the way that you think, what you're doing is you're changing the very nature of your energy, because remember, you are energy. So what happens is you start to attract things that reflect that same energy. And per Newton's law of gravitation, this is an actual law in physics, where masses attract masses. The bigger your energy become and the more of that energy starts to surround you, all the things reflective of that energy start to come towards you. Because think about it, say you have a bunch of cool people in school who are like chill and they like to laugh. When somebody who's chill and likes to laugh shows up to the school, they're going to join that group, and more people in that group is going to grow, and it's going to get more refined, and it's going to pull in more of that kind of people. It's going to become a wonderful community. It's kind of the same thing. Now, it's hard for me to just go and get proof and show this to you right away, because manifestation actually takes time, because we live in a physical world. So sure, on a quantum level, when you change the way that you think and you're attracting the energies, it's working, but things have mass, things have weight, gravity acts. So in order to get things moving towards you, you have to get moving and take action to make momentum take over and bring it to you. So think of manifestation as a lubricant to getting everything that you want. Okay, so some dead people, a pyramid of colors, and some hippie talk. But how do we actually get this stuff done? Well, it's kind of weird. There's two parts to it. The first step is to literally start thinking like you're the person you want to be. So don't try to become the person. Literally just become the person right now. Ask yourself, what would this person think? What would this person be doing right now? Start mirroring those actions, start mirroring those thoughts, and just become this person entirely. And then the next thing you want to do, and this is the part where it gets weird, you want to completely detach yourself from that life that you want. So instead of chasing the cars, chasing the money, chasing the boats, what you'll do is just completely forget about all of that. You don't care about it. As a matter of fact, you don't want it anymore. And that's how it works. Because the thing is, there's also this other law in physics, the law of attraction. This is the physics law now, where opposites attract. Just by running away from something, it's like you pull it to you. And I'm sure many people have experienced this before. It's like trying so hard not to have this situation happen. The very act of doing that makes it happen. It's just kind of the same deal. So one, prime yourself to become the person you want to be, so the external world can reflect that nature of that energy, and completely detach yourself from all the things that you're chasing. This is very similar to Neville Goddard's ladder experiment. You can look it up and try it out yourself if you want. So the formula for manifestation is simply this: consciously detach, let go completely, and unconsciously believe with all your might. Keep those things happening simultaneously, and theoretically everything that you want should come to you. And that's the formula for manifestation. Theoretically, but things happen. People die and people change their minds, you know, and if that's the case, who cares, right? So I get that this is easier said than done. It's possible, very possible, but I see how it can be difficult to just flip a switch and completely change who you are, completely change how you think. Sometimes you need like a traumatic event in life or something like that to happen. It helps, you know, but we don't want that. We're trying to do this thing organically. So what you can do is just look at the pyramid and check those boxes off. The whole point of the pyramid is this: you can't philosophize on an empty stomach. You can't think higher, you can't become the best version of yourself if you're starving, if you're worried, and if you're needy, and you're thinking about other people think about you, and all of these low level, low frequency vibrational things. So the pyramid is really just there as a guide. Think of them as the obstacles in your way to self-actualizations, things that you have to check off, boxes that you have to get out of your way to get to self-actualization. Or you can just say to yourself, oh, these are the things blocking me, but it's all in my head. I can skip past all of them and jump straight to self-actualization. That's easier said than done. At least it's a direction that you can move in. Ensure that these things are being checked off in general. And I'm sure that if you don't achieve self-actualization, you'll get damn near fucking close. And that is more than most people that live this life will ever have. So, there you go. Amazing work. But nobody's gonna watch this because they're too busy with Netflix and porn, right? If this didn't sound like you, then you're not on the path set. Ugh.